Hello everyone, welcome to the afternoon stream. My name is Dudezord and I do cool shit on stream. Yeah, my intro. I love my intro. It's very straight to the point. So I had to leave the morning stream a little bit in a hurry because I got a last minute invite for lunch with my grandparents. Well, not actually my grandparents, but my wife's grandparents. So I had to go. It's like one of those situations where you can't actually refuse to go. So I went. It was really fun. But now I'm ready to do the afternoon stream. So I'll pretty much continue working on what I was doing on the morning stream, which is essentially try to figure out how to implement the game rules for this Dwarven Checkers game. If you read the the panels below the stream, you'll see that there's an entry there for ongoing projects for Dwarven Checkers. And this is essentially a original board game that a friend of mine developed. And now we are turning this into a digital version. So we can see, so it at least can be easier for other people to play. I don't know what his plan is. I don't know if he intends to actually sell the game or just have a version of the game that he can play whenever with friends from all over the world. I do not know. I just know that he asked for my help to do so, so let's help a friend. Let's lend a hand, I guess. So in the morning, something that I did was to try to figure out. Hello, TS Trust. Something I figured out was how to actually update this UI based on similar code of what Unreal actually uses. You know, like the same type of binding situation. It's not ideal. It involves doing a bunch of manual binding to stuff, but I like this. I think that at least for now I'll go with this. And currently I'm trying to actually implement game rules, like how to place tiles, how to destroy tiles, and at least try to validate if all of that logic works properly, you know? So to do that, I have this file here called tile spawn tester, which is the file that I'm trying to implement essentially. I have where is it? I have this tile spawn tester script, which will allow me to at least validate the game logic by itself, like the placing of the tiles and the deletion of the tiles. And once we have that logic working, either we write some unit tests to it, I'm not exactly sure, or I will start implementing the actual game and the rounds, the turns, and the switching of the players and all that stuff. But for now, we'll just go with a test script, just to at least validate if the logic on itself is working properly. So let's see what we have here. So essentially, the only thing that I want here is to have two possible actions. I want an action of placing a tile in whatever one of these cells actually is, like any of these hexagonal cells is valid to place a tile for now. Or I want to explode tiles, and what exploding a tile means that if I have a tile here and I explode this tile, I want to also delete all of the tiles that are directly around it. If those tiles belong to the same team whose tile I just exploded. Okay, this is the basis for the game. So for that I just created some sort of a skeleton, and now I'm trying to fill in the blanks and hopefully we'll have something working. So we can see that, for example, here on when we press left button, we'll try to place a tile. I still haven't validated if this logic is also getting called properly, so maybe we should start there. You know, so if I call this, at the very least we should get a log named playstyle. you know. Oh, okay. The Discord was doing its sounds. I closed Discord. GG. So yeah, you can see here that when I have the left button down, it is getting called. Okay, so pretty cool, pretty cool. What more? So if this works for the left mouse down, this should also work for the right mouse down, at least for the testing. Okay, so probably one thing that I want to check is, do we get is repeated action? Because I only want to get the was just pressed action, like the down click once. I don't know if I actually... Oh. Well, I guess this is what we want, was press this frame, GG. The autocomplete is very smart. Okay. So at the very least now, this should only log once, hopefully. Let me restart the game. And if I now click on this, it only logs playstyle once. So this is exactly what I want. Good job. So we have a skeleton for placing the tiles and a skeleton for exploding the tiles. So now let's figure out what the hell playstyle is supposed to do. So the first thing on playstyle is checking if you can actually place it. And if you cannot place it, well, you just early return. You know how this is supposed to go. So now we need to figure out if we can or cannot place the tile. So in order to place a tile on the map, one of two things needs to happen. Hello, where am I? I'm lost. Help. Oh, it's there. So one of two things needs to happen. Or actually both things needs to happen. So the first thing is the cell itself that we are trying to click right now needs to be empty. Okay? So how do we check if a cell is empty if it doesn't have a owner, essentially? So cells can either be a combat cell or a movement cell. Movement cells are just these regular brownish ones, and then the combat cells are these blue ones, okay? And each one of those will have a current owner assigned to it. But if the current owner is 0, then it means that we don't have an owner assigned. So first things first is I check if the current cell is a movement cell and I get its owner. If it's not a movement cell, then it's a combat cell and I get its owner. And if the owner is not 0, okay, if the owner is not 0, then we return false, meaning we cannot place that cell there. But if the owner is 0, we continue, because it means that no one owns that cell for now. So the second thing that we need to make sure is we can only place a cell if one of the neighboring cells belongs to my team. Okay? So to do that, well, we'll essentially need to do two things. We'll essentially need to do two things. The first thing is we'll need to gather all of the neighboring cells of a specific cell. So for example, if I were to go here, so if I were to select the specific cell here, each one of these 6 cells around it will be its neighbor cells. So for each one of these 6 neighbor cells, one of them needs to belong to my own team. And only then I can actually place a cell there, or place a tile in that cell. So is this cell of my team? So first things first, we'll need to grab all of the 6 neighboring cells in this situation, or if you are in the corner, you only get 3. Yeah, essentially. So how do we do this? Good question. You write code. You write code to it. So how would you do this? Well, first things first, you will need to return a list of game objects, you know, and then you pass the coordinates of your current of a given cell, and then you will have a list that you need to return. Pretty cool. Only thing now is build the list. See, very easy to write code. You first write the part that doesn't matter, and then you do the difficult logic after. So how would we go about this? There are some nuances to this. Okay, there are some nuances to this for sure. So maybe let me pull in, I guess, paint or something like that, you know? Can I hide the UI? Okay, so let's hide the UI to start. Let me take a screenshot. And then let's get over to paint. Oops, paint. So let's try to map the current coordinate system that we have onto these images, you know. So we can see that this coordinate here, it's 1, 10. So it's 1 on the X and 10 on the Y. So maybe let's start that way. Can I put the brush a little bit smaller, please? I don't know. Can I do this? Holy, pretty cool. Okay. No. This is way too dank. Okay, let's do this. So this is 1, comma, oops, 10. Okay, that's the position. Oh, I can even do layers. Damn. Okay, so hold on. Let's do layers then. So this is 1, comma, 10. Okay. Pretty cool. What is the last one? I believe it's 10, comma 10. Very nice. So this is going to be 10, comma 10. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. This one is 10, comma 9. Because we are going up 1 row. So this will be 10 and this will be 11, you know, so this will be 11, comma 8. Okay, we're just trying to figure out like these limits here. So let me now check on this side here. This will be 0, comma 9, 0, comma 9, which means this will be a 0, comma 8. Okay, So let's think a little bit. Let's think a little bit. Let's assume that first we are on. Let me add a new layer. But let's first assume that we are trying to place something on 0,9. So the neighboring will be these ones, you know? This will be the neighboring tiles. So for it will always be minus 1 and plus 1 of the same row, row 9. But if it's one row above, you keep the same x and you just do a 0 minus 1 here, and here you do a 1 minus 1. Okay, let me write all of this. So in this case, you do a minus 1, yeah, minus 1 comma 0. These are the deltas. Plus 1 comma 0. Then you do a 0 comma minus 1. You do a 1 comma minus 1. And here you do a 0 comma 1 and a 1 comma 1. Okay, pretty cool. If it's this one. Okay, but then there's another possibility where instead of this style, let's pretend that we would do this one, 1,8. Okay, so we would do this. So for 1,8, you do 0,7. You do 1,7. You do 2,8. You would do 1,9. So these are the 6 tiles around 1,8. So in this case, it's a minus 1, minus 1. It's a 0, minus 1. This is a minus 1, 0. This is a 1, 0. And here is a minus 1, 1. And here it is a 0, 1. So you can pretty much see like the difference, you know. If the row is a odd number, layer Eden, hold on, yeah. If it's okay, let me move this way. So if the current row is a okay, let's maybe do the other way around. So if it's an even number for the Y position, the list of neighbors will be minus 1, minus 1. I don't know if I can even do like pairs of stuff, you know. Maybe I'll need to do something like this. Minus 1, minus 1. This is going to be 0, minus 1. This is going to be minus 1, 0. This is going to be 1, 0. This is going to be minus 1, 1. And this is going to be 0, 1. So these are the neighbor deltas. Neighboring deltas. Something like this. Now, how can I actually store these numbers? Feature collection expression is not available. Please use language version 12 or greater. I don't know how to do that. Can I use like a key pair or something? Would this work? Apparently so. So can I do this? No, also no. What's the issue here? Feature collection expression is not available. Please use language version 12.0 or greater. Okay, first question. Do we know if I can use language version 12 or greater? Because if not, what I can do is I can just create a neighboring deltas, which will be a new empty list of I don't even know. I don't think I can do this. Can I do this? Like a key pair shenanigans? No. And then can I do this? Also no. But maybe I can push, you know? Insert, maybe? No. Add. Okay. So maybe I can do this. -1, -1. Okay, so maybe I can do this instead. So it's -1, -1, 0, -1, -1, 0, 1, 0. Then it's -1, 1, and 0, 1. Okay, good job. Apparently this works. Else, you know, we'll need to do something similar but different. So if the Y address is odd, like it is right now, so the list will actually be this, this, and this. You know? Pretty cool. So this is the list of deltas. Pretty sweet, let me tell you. So now I have the neighboring deltas for each one of my neighbors. So this part here now works, hopefully. So what I need to do is I would say that I would want to go over each delta. Then I already have a cells that for now is this, but I'll probably want to change this to be an hash map, probably, because then I would be able to do this, you know, and then I can do neighbors dot add this, and then I return the neighbors. So I just need to convert this cell structure here. I mean, these are all private, so let me maybe use proper C#, you know. This is also private tile, and this is proper. Very good. So instead of this being this thing here, I think this is going to be a hash map. Is it just called a map, maybe? I don't know. And here will be a key pair of int to a game object. You know, I don't know if this works. Maybe this is called a dictionary instead. Yeah, I think this is called a dictionary instead. Pretty cool. So let me think. So here I do cells equals new dictionary. Pretty cool. And then here I do for each cell in there. I do this. Okay. Now this looks proper. Good job. Now this looks proper. This will be a cell entry, and then here I do a cell equals cell entry dot value. Apparently. Okay, pretty cool stuff. And here, this should allow me to, at the very least, log the number of neighbors that I have. Okay, which should be pretty cool. And where is this called? This is called on can play style. Okay. So let's see if this works. Hopefully it does. But we never know, do we? The given key -1 is not present in the dictionary. What do you mean? It's already crashing. Holy. Update. The given key was not present in the dictionary. Line 160. Called on 112. Called on can play style. I see. Why would that be though? Well, maybe we can start by attaching to Unity. And then we might as well try to figure out how much cells we are getting here. Maybe there is some sort of a bug or something. Oh, I know. No. We don't need this. I know what the issue is. The issue is that for some of these boundaries, we won't have like these cells mapped. You know. So in reality, whenever I do this stuff, whenever I do this stuff, I might not have something there. So let's cell equals cells delta var, and then here we do this, but if not cell, we continue. Okay, will this fix it? Or do I need to first check if it is part? Maybe it won't let me do this if there's an invalid key. Yep, it's not allowing me to do it. Line 160. Okay, so we'll actually need to do a dot try get value where you pass the key, where the key will be a delta. Okay, and then here we do a game object neighbor that we start as a null. Then we'll do out neighbor, and we do this instead, or you can call it neighbor game object. Yeah, neighbor game object. Okay, I think this is the code. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, at the very least, now this shouldn't crash. Okay, this is logging a bunch of nonsense, which is fine. Can I collapse? I can. Okay. How many ones do I have here? It's telling me 3. Well, they should be 6. They should be 6. So, yeah, they should be 6. So there's something odd in here. Why am I only getting this? I mean, for this cell, I should be getting 6, right? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What would be the issue here? Do we have the wrong numbers? Are we doing the wrong logic? Like for any given one here on the center. Yeah, this should be 6. Okay. Oh, I know why. I know why. Because I'm only getting the deltas here. You know, but here I don't want the delta. I want the actual new coordinates. So var coordinates. This is gonna be delta times x. Not times. Okay. Okay. Can I actually do this dx dy? Oh, I can. So good. Okay. So this is x times dx, y plus dy. These are the coordinates, and this is the what I try to match there. Okay. I think now this should work. Okay. Let's see. Well, still 3. GG. Still 3. So fake news. Why? Why? Get neighbor cells. Cell X, cell Y. Bum, 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 ba-dum, bum. Am I not doing this properly? Or what the hell is wrong with this? You know? Okay, maybe I need to attach the Unity editor. Okay. And then maybe I need to do this. So either I have something wrongly mapped, which is possible, or else I do not know. So let's try and figure that out. Okay, so on these dot cells, we have 131. Okay. We have a bunch of them, and they do not come in like their proper order, which is fine. But I guess we could, at the very least, start them, no? But I mean, 131 seems proper, I guess. They're all active. So this looks proper now. So let's check the deltas maybe. So we always get 6 deltas. And what is our current Y position? It's Y6. So it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's trying to grab this cell. And this cell will always have only 3 of them. That looks regular. That looks normal. That looks very, very normal. Okay, let me have these running here a little bit. So if I do this. Okay, what is the new position? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's trying to find this. This should have 6 potential neighbor deltas, but only 4 actually neighbors, you know. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so what are my current neighbors? First one is 4, 9, which will be this one, I guess. Okay. Second one will be 5, 9. Then will be 4, 10 and 6, 10. Okay, so this should give me 4 of them. I mean, that looks proper. So what the hell is wrong with this? Oh, now it's giving the proper number. Okay, so maybe the script didn't update previously. Okay, so this guy here in the corner, it says it's having 4 of them, which is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's proper. This guy here has 3. This guy has 5. Oh, maybe I should get rid of the collapse. So this guy has 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy has 5. This guy has 3. This guy has 6. Okay. This guy has 4. Okay, pretty cool. Okay, this appears to be working. GG. Good job, good job, good job. This appears to be working. So, besides this, what more do I need to do now? You know, what more? So this only gets me the neighboring cells. I will need to check if this cell is of a specific team. And I essentially can get the team by doing this. So maybe I should encapsulate this into its own method, like get team of cell or get owner or whatever. Get owner index of cell. Something like that. Instruct method. Name get owner for cell. Okay. Get owner for cell. Pretty cool. And this essentially gets a cell game object and then tries to figure this out, and then they return this. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. So, is this cell of my team? So what I need to do here is a call get owner for cell, where I pass the neighbor cell game object, and then I do a neighbor owner index. Okay. And essentially what I need to check if the neighbor index is equals to the if it's equals to the specific player index, which I'll need to pass in as an argument, it seems. You know? And if we can, and then I return true. Because I only need to have one of these. So it tries to grab all of the neighboring cells, then it tries to find out who's the owner for each one of those cells. And then if the owner is of the same team as I, then I can place a tile there. Okay. Good. Pretty cool. I think that I'll need to pass like some sort of player index here. Can place tile player index. Because I'll probably use these codes to whenever we have multiplayer, like have these same helper methods to be called as well. You know. Okay. So for playstyle, I'll need to pass my current player index or IDX or whatever. So I'll say that for now, this will probably be a private thing. But I'll do a private int current player index. And I'll say that this belongs to team 1. And team 1 is this team, the blue team. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. So whenever we do this, player index, let me think. Okay, so if I don't place the tile, I just return. Might as well have like a return bool or something. I don't even know how you. Oh, it's not this. This is Rust. Something like this, bool playstyle, you know. But we'll leave it as it is right now. So when we place a tile, so what do we need to do here? So one, we'll need to. What do you need to do? We'll need to create a clone of the movement tile game object for player index. And then number 2, we'll need to place it on cell game object. Maybe as a child? Maybe as a child. Create a clone. Set it as a child of the cell. Do I want to do as a child though? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do the as a child thing. I think I will want to have another script called movement tile and a combat tile. No, but I mean, the only thing that I need to do here is well, maybe if the cell... So, the cell game object, maybe we could have some sort of reference to a child tile, you know? Like a reference to a tile. And then we spawn this as a regular thing in the world, but then on the cell, we'll do a tile game object equals clone. And then we just check if this is null or not. I don't know. Okay. Also, one thing that we need to do here, we will need to set either movement cell dot current owner to player index or combat cell dot current owner equals this. You know? Do you know or do you not know? Gonna be my player index. I don't know how to hold this data. So we already have like this map, you know, for each one of these tiles here. We already have this. And on this case of these ones, maybe I should move one row above. So these two are movement cells, but this one is a combat cell, which has some value again. And then these ones are movement cells as well. So I'm just wondering how I like keep a map of the tiles that have been placed. And the tiles are these things here. So I want to spawn a tile at that position, but I also want to keep like a reference from the cell to the tile. So I wonder if I can have so this is the cell game object. So maybe I could do a cell game object dot get component cell, you know, something like this. And then maybe I could do a set tile and I pass whatever tile I just created here, you know, set tile game object. And then tile game object will be a clone of that, and then this cell will have like a helper function. Public void set tile or set tile prefab. Well, it's not a prefab. Are these prefabs? No. Set tile game object. Game object tile game object. And then tile game object equals that. And I can also set these as false, you know. Then I can do this. I don't need to expose these on the UI. I could, I don't need to. And this guy would be responsible for creating a clone of the tile prefab, essentially. I think it's called var tile game object. No, it's instantiate the tile prefab. Probably need like some sort of tile preview, you know, but for now it's whatever. For now it's whatever. So I would need to instantiate that prefab. Then I would copy the same position to it, and then I would set it there. And then something that I also need to do is I would need to also get either the movement cell or the combat cell and set the current owner to those. Maybe I could do a cell set owner, like a generic thing where I pass the player index, and then this cell would check for either a movement or a thing. Maybe. Could do a set owner index, int owner index. And then on this one, I would var movement component. It's what equals get component. It's not a movement component, it's a movement cell. Movement cell, if movement cell this, else. Okay, this code appears to be repeated. Var combat cell, it's that. Okay, and here I do combat cell dot current owner equals under index, and here I do movement cell dot current owner equals owner index. Okay, pretty cool stuff. And these here, it simplifies a little bit, which means that all of this logic here, I could also get instead of this get owner for sell, I could probably get a public get owner, you know, public int get owner index for this specific cell, and then here I just do this, return this, return this, if nothing, return 0. Okay, and then instead of these where was it? Instead of this get owner for sell, I could do a neighbor cell this, and then here I could do a cell.get owner index. No, get owner index. Okay, this feels better. I don't think I now need this get owner for sell at all. I can do this, cell.get owner index. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this kind of looks proper. Will this work? Who the hell knows? Okay, didn't crash. It's not showing any preview, which is weird. It's not showing any preview. Do I have the script actually enabled? I have. The tile spawner is enabled. So it's saying that I cannot place a tile there. Why? Current player index equals 1. Okay, I think yeah, I think we'll need to well, here I can actually pass the cell directly now. Okay, hold on. Here I can actually pass the cell. Okay, and then here on can place tile, I can pass the nearest cell. And then here I can also pass the cell, you know, and this is cell, this is cell, this is cell dot oh, can I do this actually? Damn. If I can do this, and this is cool. If nearest cell, then I can do this. Okay. Will this work? doesn't appear to be working. Why? No one knows. I think this can play style for some reason is coming as attached to Unity process. Can I even get here? Nearest cell is null. Okay, but like, do you actually enter here? Okay, which cell is this? 4-8. The hell? So this is 0, 1. So this is 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. So this is 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is 1, 4. 1, 4. Okay. Okay. So who's the owner of this? It's 0. Okay. Who are my neighbors? I have 10 of neighbors. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's this one here. So I have 6 neighbors. So, oh right. So I cannot place a tile in there. Right. Because the only position that I can place a tile is one of these 3. Or they should be one of these 3 here. Oh, I know why. Because of this get owner index. Okay, because I'm still missing something here. I'm still missing something here. Okay, I know. Because I added the what's it called? On the first row, the first cell is a team-based cell. So I need to do that check here as well. So it's a team-based cell. No, but first it should be a movement. Like movements are the easiest to go. And then I do a team-based cell, and then a team-based cell. I also get the owner. Okay, I will probably call this current owner. Not gonna lie, current owner. But I wonder if this is gonna change all the mappings. Okay, let's leave it like this. Let's leave it like this, and then I can do this. Okay, so first we get the movement, then we get the combat, and if nothing, we get the team base. And we never set the owner there. Okay. Hopefully now this should, at the very least, only show here. No. Fuck. Why? Why is this not working, my guy? Player index 0. Oh. Okay, so I think that I know what is wrong. Okay, so I'll need to first I'm gonna change this current owner. Okay. Formerly serialized as. Okay, pretty cool. But could I actually filter based on the not here? Could I filter on the hierarchy with a specific component? You know, that would be pretty cool. Team base cell. Yeah, that's a pretty sweet. Okay, so this is going to be current owner 4. Oh my god. It's going to be current owner 3. It's going to be current owner 4. No. Current owner 2. Okay, so this is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 4. This is 3. This is 2. This is 1. And this is 1. Okay. Pretty cool. I saved the scene and now I can get rid of this. And hopefully okay, so 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1. Okay, nice. Okay, at very least now this should be working. Let's see. Hell yeah, okay, so now I can only place tiles as blue here, which makes it enough sense. So, if I were to actually place a tile here now, GG, it placed it. And now, these are all of the possible places that I can place it as well. Which now should allow me to do like a bunch of cool stuff. See? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. We are doing cool stuff. GG's. GG's. This is like working really well. Working really, really well. Okay. Very pog. Very, very pog. Now what? Now what? Now I want to figure out like the destroying of stuff, you know? Now I need to figure out how to destroy stuff. Okay, this is the can play style, this is the play style. Pretty cool. Okay, instead of this game object, I might as well just pass the cell as well. Let's explode tiles, and this will be the nearest cell. So first things first. So I can only explode these for owner index equals cell equals that. So if owner index equals 0, then nope, you can't explode because it's empty. Pretty cool. But you have at least you have the index for that cell. What more can I do here? So So I grab this. Then I'll need to grab all of the neighboring cells of this. You know, var neighbor cells game objects is equals to this. Then for each one of those, if they're, I'm gonna need to grab neighbor cell, this, and I'll need to grab their owner index, and if they are different from the owner index of this cell, I just continue. But if they are the same, then I'll need to destroy them. And then I'll need to destroy them. So explode tiles. So how do I explode the tiles? I'll need to create a list of all cell game objects cell game objects to explode. And first things first, I need to add myself. And then here, I need to add all of those. But I mean, here I already have my cell. No, it's this. Cells to explode. And here I add the neighbor cell. So. Pretty cool. And then I'll do for each cell to explode, I'll need to call clear cell.clear. Cell.clear. How do we clear a cell, you ask? I mean, good question. You essentially grab this tile game object and you call destroy on it. And then you call set owner index 0. You call set owner index 0. Do I need to do something else here? No, I mean, I just destroyed the tile and I set its owner to 0. I'll probably need to do a... Now let's keep it this way. Set owner index to 0. And oops, cell to explode. Okay, I think that this should work. I think that this should work. This is the easiest part. Okay, so I can only place these 3 here. So I'll place this. And if I were to explode this cell with right click, it should remove mine and this one to the left. So 3, 2, 1, 0. Good job. And now I can place there again and here. And I can keep doing this forever and ever. Pretty cool. If I have this, I don't have anything there. So if I try to explode, nothing should happen. Cool, because I still haven't placed it there. But if now I were to place it and then I was to clear it, it should remove this plus everything around of the same color. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So what this means... What this means is, in this case now... Yeah, so now what we need to do, for example, in terms of game logic, is if I were to explode this, which I will, you will now see that this little subpath of green that doesn't connect to the starter base. You know, they don't connect to the starter base. And because they do not connect to the starter base, these need to be removed as well. And that is the difficult part. The difficult part is now to try to figure out like what are these blobs here that do not connect to the original path, you know. That's the question now. How would I go about this? How would I go about this? So explode tiles. Yeah, so whenever we explode tiles, this should call update or a clear, how do I call it? Floating, free, and connected. Maybe this. Okay, but maybe I need to call this here inside. Clear and connected tiles. So this will be the difficult part of this. Get neighbor cells. How is this used? Oh, this is used to grab the dot cell there. What about here? This is used to grab the cell. Okay, so instead of returning these, I can just return cell. Neighbors. No, let's leave it like it was before. Yeah, so I'll need to implement this clear and connected tiles, which is what I was calling update grid. Clear and connected tiles. So how should one do this? Maybe let me first open the rules, because I need to double check if I'm just clearing of a specific color or am I clearing for any color? Meaning, am I just clearing the ones that I just exploded? Do I just explode one color at a time, or do I explode whatever is surrounding them? If a defending combat tile is defeated, the adjacent movement tiles are affected. Unsupported chains collapse back to valid collections. Supported networks only lose tiles around the victory tile. Supported. Oh, so it's only movement tiles that get cleared. So, okay, I see. So in this case, if I were to destroy this guy, I shouldn't be clearing those. Okay. Okay, so I need to fix for that. Okay, so maybe let's first start there. Clear and connected tiles. Okay, we'll get there. Okay, but when I explode a tile, when I'm exploding a cell, first I want to check that this component, I have a combat component there, combat cell, var combat cell. Okay, so if it's not a combat cell, or it's empty, then I don't explode it. So I can only explode the cell that I'm exploding needs to be a combat cell. Okay. That's the first part. And then whenever I'm adding the cells to explode, whenever I'm adding the cells to explode, it needs to be a movement cell as well. Okay, so if not movement cell, or it's different. So it needs to be a movement cell, and okay, these types of things is weird. Okay, so if okay, if not combat cell, I return. Okay, GG. Now, if owner index is empty, so cell doesn't have anyone there, I also return. Okay, I'd rather do this. And here, if it's a movement cell and it belongs to the same neighbor, then I add these there. Okay, I think it's this. If the neighboring cell is a movement cell and it belongs to the same combat cell that I just exploded, if an attacking combat cell is defeated, only the combat tile is removed, no movement tiles are affected. Okay, I actually need to check. I'm not convinced about this. I'm not convinced about this. Okay, I'll need to ask the guy. Hold on. Movement tiles must stay connected to a home base or a victory tile. If a defending combat tile is defeated, adjacent movement tiles are affected. I mean, depending on what affected means. Let me ask a quick question. When a current combat tile is defeated and all surrounding movement tiles are exploded. Oops. Explode. Do we only remove movement tiles? Do we remove all movement tiles? Movement tiles, or only the ones that belong to the loser? Yeah, I don't know. I asked him, so now we need to wait for a reply. Okay, so, but for now we'll do this. For now we just remove if they belong to the same team of the losing color. So, let's see. So, at least for now, you should be able to place this, and you cannot remove tiles. You cannot explode these tiles, so this is legit. But if you own this and you were now to explode this one, it should explode this one plus this 4. Good job. So yeah, good job. Which means that if I do this and I now explode this, it should only remove this plus these 2. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so now that I think that in terms of logic, this is kinda legit now. This is kinda legit now. Oh, he replied, only the ones that belong to the losing defender. Win or lose, attacker do not lose the tiles. Neither the other teams. Just the loser. Okay. Yeah, so I think this is proper. So we will only remove the tiles that belong to the same color as the combat tile that was removed. Okay, pretty sweet. Okay, so now we need to do the the difficult part, which is if we are now to explode this, bloop, now this guy here is like pending, you know, it's like connected in the air. Well, no, it's not connected in the air. It's not connecting to anything. That's its issue. And because it's not connected to any of these home bases stuff, because it doesn't have a direct path to blue, essentially, it should get removed. Okay, what about... unconnected paths? Do movement, do combat tiles behave as anchors, same as the corner bases? Okay, what about unconnected paths? Any tile that cannot reach its own team color gets nuked. The warning. Okay. He's typing. He's typing. But yeah, I mean, if I were to remove this guy here is not connected. Even this one is not connected to this blue base. Forget the green, okay? It's just, let's all pretend these are blue. Well, let me simplify it for you. It's better if I show proper color, because I know this will movement blue. Okay, good job, solved. Okay. See, pretty cool. And when I remove these, bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah, so as I was saying, if I were to place one there, here, then I was to destroy it, it destroys these connected ones. But if I'm connected there and I delete this only removes this guy because this guy is a movement tile. But oh yeah, but now this guy is not connected to the blue base. And because it's not connected to the blue base, this one should get cleared as well. Yeah, I think so. Because if not, the logic wouldn't make sense. Okay. So, how do I do this? How do I do this? So, I'll probably want I should probably pass like a player index here or something. because I don't need to clear all of those. I just need to clear the ones of the player that whose tiles were exploded. That's correct, except think of combat tiles as anchors too. So if a path isn't connected to home base, is connected to a surviving combat tile, the chain won't be broken. Even if the combat tile isn't connected to the base. You see where this is going? It's just so you cannot clear like 6 combat tiles with one. You need to do all 6 attacks. Okay, so actually we will ignore combat tiles apparently. So if we do this and we clear this, that combat tile will survive. So we just need to clear see, and this stays connected. But now this isn't connected to anything. Okay. Okay. So we only need to search for find the list of or find a set of all movement with all the coordinates of movement tiles that belong to the player. And then I'll need to do what's it called? I'll pick one, I'll try to grow it as much as I can, and I'll need to see if I can get one of the neighbors that is a base, essentially. So I need to find a set with all of the coordinates of each movement tiles that belong to the player. And then what I'll need to do is for each tile, oops, do this. Okay. Okay, I'll be right back. Wife is asking for something. I'll see you in a little bit. Hola, I'm back. Yeah, I find it funny how people are usually more interested in a Unreal game or the Game Boy, and not really the Unity one. Is it because it's like a board game and it kind of looks yucky? You guys know? Can you give feedback? Because yeah, I think I'd rather have more viewers or more interaction. So if people don't enjoy watching me work on this, then I can work on this off stream and do cool stuff while streaming, you know? Maybe. Okay, but in any case, we need to figure out the clear, unconnected movement tiles. Okay, so I will need to find every... What's happening, my guy? Clear and connected movement tiles. So I'll need to find a list with all of them. But then I will also need to do a processed set. Okay. Which is gonna be a Nash set of int. You know? And then here I'll have a pending cells almost, which will just gonna be a regular list of int. Okay, you see where this is going? Maybe not. This is an array list. No, it's just a list. Okay, what's wrong with you? Class name is not valid at this point. Why? It's an array list. I mean, pretty sure a list should work. New list game object. Oh, yeah, it is the new. Oops. Okay, so I have these pending cells. Or pending cells. You are back full of the Portuguese. You are back full of fine Portuguese meats. Did you go to Nando's? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I had carne de porco à alentejana, which it's I mean, it's let me see. Yeah, it's like kind of this. No, not this. This doesn't look that good. It's kind of this. So it has like fried pieces of pork. Then it has like fried potatoes. And then it has some how's that called? No. Ameijoa. What the hell, my guy? Ameijoa. Why doesn't this like foi ele quem escolheu? What do you mean? Hold on. Why doesn't this work, my guy? I want... Holy fucking... I mean, I don't want Portuguese detected, you know? I want the freaking Portuguese language that I hard coding. Okay, ameijoa in English. Clam, for fuck's sake. Yeah, fried pork, fried potato, and the clams. I do enjoy a nice clam. Yeah, look at these clams. And then it also has olives in there. It's very yummy. And some pickled vegetables as well, like pickled cucumber or pickled carrot. A little bit of parsley. Very yummy. Very, very yummy. Looks pretty healthy. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I mean, it's good. Yeah, look at this. I can do cool shit now in game. So I can place tiles. See, pretty good. So I cannot place them freely now. I can only place to tiles that are adjacent to existing tiles. Pretty cool. See. And now what I need to do is I need to work on the exploding, on the combat part, which essentially means that when you remove the tile from one of these combat cells are like the bright blue ones. When you remove a tile from there, it automatically should remove all of the adjacent tiles of the same color, as long as they are movement tiles, so the regular hexagons. And it should keep these combat tiles intact, which is happening right now. But the issue is that, well, this is not going to work, is it? Okay, I need a better example. Hold on. Fuck. Okay, stop and start. But essentially, there will be some situations where you will have some like floating, unconnected movement tiles. So for example, imagine I take this combat tile here. Combat tiles will have a different piece on top. But for now, just pretend. But if I now were to destroy these two tiles are now like floating. They are not connected to the blue base. And they are also not connected to an existing combat tile. So because they are unconnected, they should get deleted as well. Yeah. So I need to figure out this algorithm. Pretty much. That's the plan. Is it an IRL game? Or is it something completely new? It's a board game that a friend of mine invented. There is a physical version that I think only he has. I mean, this was never like produced or anything. But it's a board game that he created. And he's trying to create now a digital version of it. But yeah, it's a completely original idea. I didn't see anything like it before. Yeah. As far as we know, this is a completely original idea. There might be games like that work very similarly. But yeah. Okay. So what I need to work on is now this. Like if I were to remove this, it clears all the 6 tiles around, but now these ones are like free floating. And because they are not connected to another anchor tile, which can either be the base or these bright blue ones, then they need to get removed as well. So that's what I'm working on right now. So how am I gonna do this? Clear and connected movement tiles. So I think I'll pass the mean, I only need to pass the player ID and the owner index. Okay. So what I think we'll need to do is first we'll need to write all of the find a list. So first things first, we'll need to grab a list with all of the pending cells. I mean, this should be probably a Nash set. Okay. And then what we'll need to do here is we also have the ones that have been processed. You know? So every time so all of the pending cells will be essentially all of the blue cells on the map. Okay, will be all of this. These will be all of the pending cells, but all of this is connected, right? All of these are connected. The only one that are unconnected are these ones. So the first thing that I'll need to do is I will need to first create a list with all of this. Okay. Then what I'll need to do is for each cell on this list of all of them that belong to this color, for each cell, I will need to kind of iterate recursively through the neighboring cells and until I either reach a base cell or a combat cell. So I'll try to, by doing that recursively, I will try to figure out if there's a path, any path, that essentially connects that cell to an anchor point. An anchor point being either a combat cell or the base. And whenever I find one connection, so imagine that I would start with these. I mean, they are randomly generated by Unity, so I don't know with each order they will come, right? But let's pretend that I'll start with this cell right here, this one. So is this one an anchor cell? No, it is not. So now I'll find its neighbors. So I only have two neighbors of the same color. Okay. So then for the first neighbor, I will do okay, is this an anchor cell? No. So I'll need to find its neighbor. So it will give me the original one that already has been processed, or this one here to the left. So I'll go to the left. Is this an anchor cell? No. Is this an anchor cell? No. Is this an anchor cell? No. Is this an anchor cell? Is this an anchor cell? No. It gets this one. Is this an anchor cell? Yes. And somehow I will need to keep track of all of the current queue that I just processed. Okay. And all of these should be marked as they are free. Hexadecimal star. Yeah, pretty much. All of these should be marked as, yeah, these are free, because this path that I took connects to an anchor. So these will all be treated, and these will all be marked. And then I still have the right side to go. And here on the right side, I'll do, okay, give me all the neighbors. So it's this one to the right and this one to the left. This one to the left we already processed. But we'll also know that this has been marked as being part of it. So this is also part of it. Then we jump to this. We get two neighbors. this is connected as being anchored, so this will be marked as anchored. And we just do that recursively. And there will be a point in time where we will jump to like a little island here in the middle of the nothing, where I'll be here and I'll say, okay, is this one anchored? I don't know yet. So let me grab the 3 neighbors. Is this one anchored? No. I have 2 neighbors. They are already queued. We skip ahead. Is this anchored? No. Let me get the other neighbors, which are these 4 ones. These 2 are already queued, so I just push these 2 and I skip ahead. Is this anchored? Also no, but all of the neighbors are already queued, so we skip ahead. Is this anchored? Also no, all of its neighbors are already processed and marked as pending. So because I don't have any remaining neighbors for this, in theory, this entire blob should be marked as not connected. You know? What is the data structure for the grid right now? It's a 2-dimensional array, if we want to think like it. So we have like rows vertically and then columns horizontally. But even numbered rows and odd numbered rows are like offset by 1. But just imagine that this is like a grid, a regular grid. So yeah, there's no graph node, there's no random structure, it's just a regular grid. So essentially what I want to do is I want to grab a list of all of the pending cells. Okay? And then I will grab the first cell on that list. And I will try to run a flood fill, essentially. Trying to grab all of its neighbors, all of its neighbors, all of its neighbors, all of its neighbors. Okay? And then, once I have all of its neighbors, I'm gonna see, is one of these an anchor? And if one of those is an anchor, all of that flood fill is anchored. So then I can remove them from the pending cells set as well. You see? That's the idea. That's the idea. Currently processed set. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to grab. Okay, I want to grab all of the cells. Then I want to grab the. I mean, I think this code is gonna be fucking disgusting. By the way, cell game object. No, cell game object. This is gonna be a var cell equals cell. Yep. And then here I'll have an x and y. If cell.owner get owner index equals my type, then I do pending cells dot add cell. Pretty much this. So here we should have I don't know if I should store a cell here. I don't know. Whatever. Let's start with this. So I will first grab a list of all of the pending cells that belong to the same owner. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then I'll do a while pending cells.count is greater than 0. I'll grab the first cell. Okay, and here will be anchored false. And then I'll have current Q is a Nash set of these cells, whatever. So then I'll grab the first cell. Yeah, I'll grab the first cell. So how do I do this? Var current Q equals a cell current Q dot add pending cells at first. Okay, so then what I'll do is while holy crap. I mean, this will be essentially like some sort of A star, really. Okay, so I know that this will end whenever this pending cells is empty, because it means that I have removed all of those. So I'll do a processed cells as well, and then here on pending cells I will can I do a so there's an intersection. Is there a XOR? There's intersection, there's a unit, there's a except, maybe? So essentially here, I will want to remove all of, so I want to go over all of the processed cells, and then I want to remove them from pending cells. That's the plan. Current Q dot count is greater than 0. Pending cells, current Q. ChatGPT would do this in like 10 seconds. Ay, ay, ay. So first I need to create a list of all of the random cells that I have, which is normal. But then my ending condition is that my pending cells is 0. Okay, so that's my end condition. And whenever I process a cell, the thing is the recursive part, I guess. It's getting the neighbors of the neighbors of the neighbors of the neighbors. Remove. Do I have a remove index or a delete or a erase? Oh no, because this is what's this? Okay. Do I have a pop? I mean, I just want to whatever. Var current cell equals this, and then I want to remove this current cell from that queue, and then whatever happens I will want to add it to the processed or to the processed cells. But then essentially what I want to do is for each one of the processed cell, I want to remove them from the pending cells, because I already know that they don't need to be there. But maybe they have neighbors still. Okay, but let's think. So let's pretend that I start with this guy here. Okay, all of my pending cells will be all of this nonsense. So this is going to be current queue. Current queue dot add pending cells dot first. I mean, maybe here I'll have a connected and unconnected cells, you know, and then everything that I'll need to do is for each unconnected cell, I'll just need to do unconnected cell dot clear. So this is the plan. This is the plan. Yeah, if I'm able to at least finish this, I'll end the stream. It's probably gonna take me like 1 hour. Okay. So my pending cells will be every single one of them. Doesn't matter that much. But then well, there's other possibility. Instead of grabbing yeah, there's other possibility. So instead of trying to parse this randomly, I could grab just the cells, like I could start with only the anchored cells, you know? I could start with only the anchored cells that belong to my team. And which will be combat cells of which I'm the owner of, or team-based cells which I'm the owner of. And those would be my anchors. And then for each one of those, I'll just try to call get neighbor, get neighbor, get neighbor, get neighbors, get neighbors, get neighbors. And I'll try to grow this list as much until I don't have any neighbors. And these will be all of my connected ones. And then the unconnected ones will be the rest. You know? Maybe that works as well. I don't know if that's better or worse. It kind of seems simpler to think about. So first I'll need to create a list of these. Then for each one of those lists, or for each one of those anchored cells, I just call neighbors and append, call neighbors and append, call neighbors and append, until I don't have more neighbors to add of my own color. And then when I cannot add more neighbors, I'll just do a difference between all minus the connected will be the unconnected ones, and those are the ones that I'm gonna destroy. Maybe I like that more. Yeah, I think I like that more. So anchored cells will be yeah. I like that more. Okay, let's get rid of all of this code, because I can imagine some weird situations where this will be messed up if I use the other way I was thinking. But if I just do it the flood fill from the anchored ones, this is gonna work every single time. Trust. Trust. All owner cells. All owner movement cells. So I'll do this, and I'll do a movement cell. Okay, so these are all the movement cells that belong to the same owner. So they are cells, and they are a movement. Yeah, so it needs to be a movement cell and it needs to belong to the same owner. Okay, good job. So now I'll need to figure out all of the anchored cells. Owner anchored cells. And this will be similar but different. This is going to be similar but different. Okay, might as well do this on the same loop. So these are the movement cells and they belong to the same owner. And then here they can be, then I can continue here. And then here they can be a combat cell and they belong to the same team. And then these are all the anchored cells. And then we continue. And then here I can do the tile-based cells, team-based cells. Team-based cell. Yeah, if the team-based cell belongs to the same team, we do that. Okay, pretty cool so far. So now we have the movement cells and all of the anchored cells. Okay, very poggies. So now what I'll need to do is I'll need to create a set of connected cells. Owner connected cells. There's also going to be a Nash set of cells. And then here I'm gonna do a for each var anchored cell in owner anchored cells. Well, to begin with, I might as well add myself. But then what I'll need to do is I will need to have cells to test, which I guess is also a list or something. So not anchored, these are anchored. So this is either a base cell or a combat cell that I control. And whenever I do this, I'll need to get the neighbor cells. I'll need to do a oh boy, this is this is tough. This is tough. So cells to test dot append I don't know neighbor cells. This is very, very tough. Well, first the neighbor cells that I want to actually check if they belong to the same team as me. Because they are just getting all of the... Well, these are not neighbor cells. I would call these adjacent cells. You know, just to make it a little bit more... meaningful. And then this will be adjacent. Yeah. Yeah, I think I need to drop the neighbor. Neighbor probably means that they are of the same team or something. No, they are adjacent. And adjacent is different. Adjacent means that they can be of whatever team. You know? So here I have the adjacent cells for the current anchored cell that I have. And now for each adjacent cell, okay, for each adjacent cell, if owner connected cell contains holy adjacent cell game object var adjacent cell this. Okay, so if the owner connected cells contains this, no, because I also need to confirm if this is of the same team as me. If adjacent cell dot this. Okay. So either one of two things is gonna happen. So no, if they are part of my if they are a part of my no, if owner connected cells already contains them, I'm just gonna continue ahead. If not, I'm gonna add them to cells to test and to owner connected cells. Okay. And oh boy, this is weird. This is weird to think about. Okay, at the very least, let's maybe try to validate if something is like actually legit working on their index. Okay, do I actually get a... No, okay, so this is not attached to the Unity project. Okay. To the Unity editor, I mean. Okay, now, is it? Maybe not. Okay, it is. Okay, so our owner movement cells now should be one, because I only have these. These were just deleted. And anchored cells, I should have two, which are these two there. So let me quickly check. Anchored cells are correct, and owner movement cells is also owner. Where is it? Owner movement cells is 09. Okay, so this part here is proper. Okay, so let's ignore this for now. Okay, so what I want to do is this. Okay, so I should have 3 movement. Only 2. Aren't these movement cells as well? Oh, that what? Hold on. Okay, maybe it was just a weird graphical issue. Okay. So if I remove this, I should have 3. 09, which is this one, 08, and 01237. So that is proper. Okay. But connected or anchored, I only have these 2 here. So for each one of the connected, sorry, for each one of the anchored, I'm gonna say that they are connected. Okay. And then I will somehow need to do this recursively until cells to test is greater than 0. Okay. I think I see what I need to do. So while cells to test count is greater than 0, I will need to pop from cells to test add anchored cell. And adjacent cells or var current cell gonna be cells to test dot first, and this will be current cell x and y. Okay, so what I want to check is by the end of this, what the hell do I have? What the hell do I have by the end of this? GG. Infinite loop. Ay. Help. Oh no. The infinite loop is looping infinitely. Help. Oh, it's not even attached. Oops. Okay. Okay, let me see what we have here. Okay, so we have the anchored cells are only 2. Yes. I remove these 3. Right, because this is the cell that I just destroyed. So I should have 3 movement cells. Correct. Oh, I see what I'm missing. I'm not... Can I like kill the current instance? Can I like do a jump? Skip to here. Yeah. Okay. Can I now free you from your demise? No. Okay, how am I supposed to fix this now? Okay, can I write a return here and hope that you grab it? Stop attached to. No. I want to free Unity. You know, Unity is like hardcore stuck. And I don't want that. I want Unity to work. Help. Oh my god. Unity. Editor. Dwarven Checkers. Is it this? I mean, this is running. Oh boy, I think I'll need to kill this. Okay. Never mind. Okay, now we open it again. Do you want to copy and preserve these? No. Absolutely not. Okay, so what I want to do here is when I do this, I want to do cells to test dot remove current cell. Okay, I think this is what I want to do. So I'll put a breakpoint here now. And I think this is gonna work. Oh. TS just is swimming, you know. TS just is swimming. Okay. Let me attach the Unity process. And I mean, maybe this is gonna work now. To what? Yeah. He does semi-competitive like jumps into the water. We were talking that in the morning. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Like from the platform, like the bouncy, springy jump board. Yeah, he does that shit. It's really awesome. Okay, let's figure this out. What? Oh, why is this a green? Ay. Can you like be blue, please? Thank you. Okay. Does this do something? Okay, it does. Okay, so anchored cells is always going to be 2, so that's fine. Owner. movement cells, the remaining one is going to be 1. Okay. So for each one of the anchored cells, let's start with -1,9, which is this one there. I'm testing it. Then I'm popping it. Very cool. Popping it. Then I'm calculating its adjacent cells. Okay. And the adjacent cells of this one are going to be 1, 2, and 3. So adjacent cells should be 3. Adjacent cells should be 3. Okay. Very good. Adjacent cells 3. So now I'm going to check if they belong to me. The hell? Did I skip ahead? Okay, I'm gonna check if they belong to me. Alright, because this one is not part of it. So this one belongs to me. And I'm gonna check if I mean, adjacent cells is only grabbing for any cell actually. There. No, adjacent cells is 3, but only one of them or 2 of them will be owner. Okay. But are these part of the owner connected cells? No. So I step over. But now they are. Because the current cell that I'm currently parsing is connected. So I need to mark all of the adjacent ones as connected as well. And then I'll need to test them. To grab their neighbors like recursively. Okay, so this should be done. Okay, there's one more. And this one should be connected already. No? Maybe not. Okay, but now cells to test are 2 of them. So it's 09, which is this, and 010, which is that one. So for 09, I mean, I would say that this is working now. So if I remove this, this one should be removed as well. Bloop. Well, no, because I didn't write the code to remove them. But that should be removed. Okay, so these are all of the connected cells. So this part here is proper. These are all of the connected cells. So now what I need to do, I'll need to do owner movement cells dot create like a, what is the difference with the owner connected ones. Okay, what's your issue? Oh. No. So for each var owner connected cell, I'm gonna go on owner movement cells and remove that owner connected cell. And then for each one of the movement cell there, I'm gonna do movement cell.clear. Okay, I think this is the code. I think this is the code. Let's see. Okay, so if I remove this one, this should be alive. Bloop. Good. If I do this and I remove this one, this should get yoinked and this should be alive. Bloop. Good job. If I do this and I remove this, none should get removed. Bloop. Well, these ones should, but these ones are still connected there. But if now I were to remove this, this should get removed. Bloop. Nice. And if I were to remove this, only these two should get removed. Bloop. Pretty cool. Okay, I think this is working. Hell yeah. I think this is working. I'm a professional developer. Poggies. Professional developer. Okay, and if I now remove these, all of these should get yoinked. Bloop. Yep. Okay. Hopefully now you can like figure out the game. Essentially now the objective is you will build like paths, you see, and then you'll try to reach for these combat tiles, combat cells, because these combat cells are worth something. But then the enemy, and then you will like try to expand from there and do stuff and try to conquer other ones. But then this pink enemy will try to create its own path and attack the combat tiles that belong to you. And when they fight you and they get it, bloop, you lose like a portion of your unconnected pathing, you know? So everything you do, you kind of need to always make sure that you are anchoring your tunnel structure to these combat tiles here. Just so if you were to lose this one, this path here is connected here, so it will stay working, you know. So it's almost like climbing, where you always need to have 2 points of contact with the wall, always 2 of them, like to keep balance. Because if you only have 1 point of contact and then you lose that point of contact, you will lose pieces. But if you have 2 points of contact, then you'll be able to keep your stuff there. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, I think this worked. I think this will need to be play tested. Okay, what do I want to do now? What do I want to do now? Good question. I think I want to, at the very least, support like the different teams, you know? like simulate a game just to see that the clearing and all is like properly working without the number of tiles and stuff, like just this destruction part. So I currently have this current player index here, which is kind of what I'm doing to make all of this logic work. But I'm happy with this. I think this is the stream. I think this is the stream. I think that if anything, I will just add like a secondary prefab. Like this movement tile prefab. This is going to be the combat tile prefab. And this is going to be the preview tile. Is going to be the preview tile. But then when actually placing the stuff, I need to figure out if this is either a movement prefab or if this is a combat cell or a movement cell, you know. So I can do so I have the cell, so I can do cell.gameObject dot get component movement cell or a has component, maybe a has component. No, get component movement cell. So if it has a movement cell, then the cell prefab is going to be that. Cell prefab is going to be the movement tile prefab. Else is going to be the what's it called? Combat tile prefab. You know, something like this. Oh, game object. The only side which I never read. Okay. Tile game object. Blah 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 blah, and all of this works properly. Pretty cool. So now I just need to assign a combat tile there, just so we have what do you mean game object? It's none of these. So I want the no, it's not a game object. What am I doing? Is this a game object? No, it's a prefab. Can't I reference a prefab from the assets? Asset? Or is it a game object still? Game asset? Or am I dreaming? Maybe it's still a game object. I thought I could reference something from there. Apparently I cannot. No, it's assets, it's here. Never mind. Okay, so this is the movement. And this is the combat level 1. Okay. And now now, at the very least, it should like show cool stuff. See? So now we have both combat tiles, movement tiles, and if I remove a combat tile, it will also remove parts of that. Okay, pretty cool, pretty cool. What more can I do here? I mean, this could probably be a movement preview tile, and then this can be a combat preview tile. So we could even have two different preview tiles, you know? You see, like, pretty cool stuff. And then this is gonna be the movement preview. This is gonna be the combat preview. And here I'm only setting depending if it's if the nearest cell is a movement or a combat. So if nearest cell dot if nearest cell dot game object that get component movement cell, then here I do the movement preview tile, and then I set, well, I might as well do this every time here. Else I'll do the combat preview tile. Okay, and now at the very least it should show the combat preview tile when hovering over oh, it doesn't work. Why? Oops, no, else if combat. Okay, fake news. For each. Yeah. Sorry, my guy. Okay, now it should work. GG. So it shows the preview properly. See? Pretty pog. Pretty pog. Actually don't know if I like these team colors here, because they kind of paint these different shades. Like each corner has their own like light projecting, but this one here looks blue, this one looks green, so it might be confusing to look at this. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. Okay. I mean, pretty cool stuff. Okay, let's test this properly. Okay, so we are going very hardcore here. We are going very hardcore here. Yeah. So I'm occupying the entire... This is how we see if this is actually going to work, you know? So I'm currently occupying all of the movement tiles. I don't have a single anchor point here besides this one. If I were to place a tile here and remove it, it should clear all of these, but everything else should be connected still. Okay, pretty cool. Pretty cool. But, are you seeing this, Simonot? You need to be here. Simonot! I need you. You are. Hello. Okay. If I remove this tile, which also clears the 6 around it, all of this should collapse and should become empty. Do you think we'll be successful? Will this clear everything besides these 3? No? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Because it's a loop. And? No, but... Okay, I will explain the rule one more time, okay? You need to pay attention. You need to pay attention. If I clear this one, it will clear all of these, 6, okay? If I clear one combat tile, it also clears the 6 tiles around it, like these 6, which means that only these 3 will be connected and everything else will be free floating. No, but I think it's your implementation. The loop will catch you. Okay, are you ready? Fuck. What happened? Fuck! Oh, no, it is attached there. Never mind. There's one thing attached there. Hold on. Fake news. See, it's attached there. I clicked there by mistake. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, because essentially, if I have one single point anywhere, all of these will be alive because they will be attached there. But now that I don't have anything else attached, it clears. Hell yeah. Professional programmer. Very poggies. Very poggies. Yeah, I'm an amazing game developer. Well done though. I was technically right. Well, because it was anchored there. It was not because of the loop. So you were right in saying that it wouldn't collapse, but the reasoning for it was wrong. So we were both wrong. Well, you were wrong because you said it was gonna fail to collapse because of one thing, and then it was another. And I failed because I failed to actually see that there was an anchor point there. But GG's. This works. This works. It's kind of hard to see it was anchored. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just implementing the game logic, you know. And then I'll leave the actual designer to make like the cool camera animations and improve on the UI and all of that shit. So now if I were to clear this, all of these will collapse. Bloop. Nice. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay. Okay, I think this was today's stream. It's freaking GG. I think I'm just gonna record something to send the guy. Can I actually like get rid of the sound? I don't want to record the audio. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna 3, 2, 1. Drop. 10 seconds of video. Pretty cool, very cool. Okay. I'm gonna send it to him. Can I like trim it there though? I only need to show this. Okay, apply. Can I compress this to be smaller? Maybe. 7 megabytes. What the fuck do you mean 7 megabytes? I freaking hate like Windows. I mean, to be honest, it's a 4K thing. Maybe I could make the window a little bit smaller. But yeah, very GG. I'm very happy with this. So there's now technically, I mean, there's not much else to do in the game. Like, this was the difficult part, okay? The figuring out the tiles and the clearing and all of that. This is the difficult part of the game. So what is missing now is that each turn you can only place 3 movement tiles. So every time I click here, well, I should probably have like some sort of well, if I show you the reference images, I will probably need to have like a little, what's it called, like a place where I have all of my tiles and then I want to like drag and drop them, you know. That's my plan. And drag and drop them, and these should update essentially. So every time I put on one movement tile, this should decrease by 1, because you need to put 4 of them, the 3 of them always, and then you can choose to put or not your combat tiles. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that was the stream. I'm happy. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow though. But I think that probably tomorrow I will do the Unreal Engine game, because I already did 2 full days of Game Boy, and the Game Boy I don't know what to do, how to progress with it. Like, it's having a couple of issues with the audio. Yeah, it's Thursday. It's Thursday already. Kind of feel like I need more color, more light in here. Look at me, super bright. No, now I'm way too bright. I look pale. I need like some color in my face. No, now I'm way too red. I need to look more like a human being. Maybe this, and then I decrease a little bit on the saturation. Yeah, maybe I look better now. I don't know. I was looking very pale here. Yeah. I think tomorrow will be Unreal Day. I have more tasks to do. My PRs have been merged, so hell yeah. They enjoyed the work that we did together on stream. So we have more stuff to do tomorrow. But as I was saying, I don't know what to do regarding the Game Boy. Yeah, I don't know if you were here, Simonot. Let me show it to you. Well, No, I did show the acid thing, didn't I? I think I did, like the acid test. But I saw Super Mario screen and the acid face. Yeah. Okay. But there's something else that it's happening that I don't know what the issue is. Like for example, here in Boxel. Boxel is like a box push game. Should be a fairly simple game. Boxel. See, like you push boxes into the dots, and when all of the dots have a box, you pass the level. GG. And when I run this, it gets stuck in the start screen, and I cannot progress. I cannot continue. There's nothing I can do here. It does say press the start button, but I'm pressing enter, which should be the start button. But yeah, it doesn't continue here. And then I kind of have the same issue with the Super Mario game. Right? I have the same issue with the Super Mario game. Where here on the Super Mario game, it just takes a long... Well, maybe this is normal. I don't know if this is normal. I feel like this is way too slow. You know? And then it also takes a ton of time to appear like the start here. Like the start mushroom here. Yeah. And then I cannot proceed either. So I don't know what the hell is happening here. But something is wrong in terms of... Oh, looks like the game is about to autoplay. But see, like it's very, very slow. It's very, very slow. Like something is getting stuck. Yeah, see, like you see there, like the Super Mario guy. Like something is weird. This should be running, this is the demo. It should be running in real time, but it isn't. The fuck do you debug that? I don't know. I know I have timing issues. I don't know which type of timing issues. There's one thing that I'm certainly doing wrong. Which is... which is what? On the PPU. I'm saying that these are the durations. But mode 3... Mode 2 and Mode 3. So the sum of these should be 369. But these are variable. Okay, these can vary depending on the game. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll need to go with... I will need to try the timing accuracy stuff. For example, I have a bunch of tests here, like instruction timing. Like the first one passes, okay? This one is cool, this one passes. So it means that at least implementation of the instructions is copying the values properly into the registers, and all of the CPU flags are proper. So they are 11 tests, okay? So we need to wait. But I mean, this runs until the end. But it's the only test that runs properly. All of the other tests, like the timing tests, just womp womp. Nope, they do not work. Okay, so 10 is probably gonna be okay. These take a little bit, like these last ones take like 20 seconds to run. So I kind of want to work a little bit on this, and I kind of want to work a little bit on the Unreal game. So okay, so this one says passed all tests. Is this meant to be slow? I do not know. I will need another emulator to compare. But reading the README, they do say that the last test takes around 30 seconds. So maybe that's okay. Seconds. Duration. X. 30. I don't know. But I read somewhere that one of these tests takes a bunch of time. But then you have, for instance, the instruction timing, which is how long does each instruction take to run. And bloop, this fails pretty much like immediately, but it doesn't give you any. I mean, it doesn't give you like any information about what failed, just that it failed, which is not ideal. But then you also have the interrupt timing and the memory timing and stuff. So if I run the interrupt timing, it's gonna fail and say that all of them failed with some errors that I don't know what they mean. Okay, it just says failed, so I don't know what failed exactly. And then I have the memory timing. Which is giving error code 01 in each one of those. So every single one of these that are part of those tests fail. Yeah, so the only one that works is this one, the CPU instructions, which is already a good start. It means that the 512 instructions that we implemented are working properly. But yeah, everything else related to timing is not working, which means that some stuff that are very timing critical won't work either. For example, this DMG acid test as well. So I do not really know what I need to be doing here. That's mainly the issue. I do not know how to proceed. But Tetris runs and you can play Tetris, but as far as I know, it's the only game that we can play now. Voxel should be playable because it's Voxel is also type 0, ROM size 0, RAM size 0, which is like all contained in the single cartridge. You don't have any RAM, ROM, and or external ROM or anything. So it should be working, and doesn't. And the reason that I know that Tetris works is because if I click on Enter, it transitions to another menu. Enter, and it transitions. Enter, and it transitions. So Enter is bound. So that's not the issue with the voxel. So yeah, I do not know. I do not know. But that's not an issue for today's Dudezord. That's an issue for tomorrow's Dudezord. Yeah, everyone, thank you very much for watching the stream. Fuck that guy. Yeah, fuck future me. I don't care about future me. I'll get going. Yeah, I was able to start at 2 p.m, meaning that I actually did a 3-hour stream. So GG. We had 0 followers today, which kind of sucks. But I don't think people enjoy the Unity game, you know? People do not enjoy the Unity game for some reason. Probably because it's like a board game. So there's not much happening there. Yeah. Well, and it's also a game where it's difficult to see what is happening, right? Because people do not know the rules of it. So I have to always be explaining the rules, but because the game is still not playable, I cannot actually like do a demo of the game. I need to explain, and people need to kind of pretend that they understand what I said. So yeah, streaming Unity is not that great. So yeah, I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm getting paid. So that's the most important part. I'm getting paid. But yeah, it's not ideal. I don't know. Yeah, I think tomorrow will be probably alpha day of Unreal and alpha day of Game Boy. But I think that for the Game Boy, I'll need to do some off-stream like investigation, just so that tomorrow I know what we need to do, because I don't want to spend like 3 hours just trying to debug something and then suffer in an entire weekend not be able to fix it. So I think I'll just do that research now once I finish the stream. Yeah, I think that's the plan. Everyone, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Simon Ott, for keeping me company, and TS Just as well, and the other 2 lurkers that maybe are not listening, but I see that you are there. And I'll get going. I will rest, and wife is already coming home, so yeah. Very fun day. We made some good progress, and we'll continue tomorrow with the Unreal, at least in the morning, and then I think we'll do the Game Boy in the afternoon. Tomorrow go again. Full wrinkled brain. Yep. True story. True story. Okay, everyone. I'm gonna get going. Thank you very much for watching. 500 IQ, big brain. Yeah. I'm gonna get going again. Thank you very much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. I kind of feel like I need like some like fade out to black. See, and when it goes black, I end the stream. That would be more eventful, I think. Maybe I need to work on that. Thoughts? Last thoughts before leaving? Like I'll do a bye-bye, I'll do this, and then like fade to black. Pretty cool. Yeah. And then maybe it will like fade in the stream offline, and then that would be the same picture that shows. I'll share down like a garage, yeah. See, bye-bye, and then I do like a I fake pull it myself. I mean, that would be fun, like do something like this. But should it also like go? I mean, I can't go in front of the. I can't go in front of the table. So should the shutter just go like up here, or just like literally? Like I can do this and it will just like close. As long as it's faster than my hand, it's fine. In front of table too. Okay. Okay, I will. I'll think about it. But I like the idea of actually having like an animation of like stream closed or something. Yeah, I think it's more fun than the fade out. Yeah, okay. I will put it on my to-do list. Okay, everyone, again, now for reals. Pinky promise. Bye-bye, and see you all tomorrow.